What did you think of pickup before you were introduced through like the ABCs through me?
You know what? The truth, I never even knew this existed. Like anything to do with these little, like seminars or PUAs, PUAs. I don't know. I thought there was like guys talk to guys about it and like gave each other advice, but I never knew it was like an art form. So yeah.
All right, what do you think of it after, now that you're actually, you've been introduced and you actually help out on some of our programs?
I kind of look out for things now. I have a trained eye, so I'm like, wait a minute, is that a pua? When they come up to me. And I've actually, I've been approached by puas before. It's funny.
Did they approach successfully?
You know what they did? But their techniques work, so I don't know. And I'm so used to them, but still, the keynote turns and just the confidence. Like I said, it's attractive. You fall for it.
All right. So, what did you think of the ABC's boot camp experience the first time you were introduced to it? The first time you were actually in the program?
Okay. The first time I was introduced to the ABCs, I was really like interested, and it was all new information, and I was just like grasping onto it, trying to put it in my mind, like, oh, I gotta look out for this. I thought it was really cool. Like it talked about body language and just like psychology, and it was nothing that I've ever seen before. So
I remember specifically you would ask me some of the questions that I already had answers to that we taught the students. Mm-hmm. You would ask me my age. We had teach and answer that. You would ask me my sign. I remember like teaching guys what's the appropriate way, like why women believe in like horoscopes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, did you see a lot of growth in students?
I always do. That's the amazing thing about this. It's really interesting just to see each student's progress. Like the first day they can be shaking and sweating and extremely nervous and have a horrible approach and just be the epitome of a bad at pickup. And then, when it's all said and done, it's a transformation. Like they grow so much. They literally gain so much confidence over the course of like a few days. Mm-hmm. So it's amazing.
And what's your role during the boot camp program for those who don't know you personally like we do?
Well, I'm Claire, guys, and my role at the seminars is to be the approach model. They come up and they practice their approaches on me, and I think that gets them over a lot of their initial anxiety, that they're actually approaching a real girl that they might be intimidated by in real life. They get a bunch of practice. They have to do it again and again and again until they nail it, and that's the hardest part for a lot of people, but it works. So
one thing I've heard a lot of my students say is Claire is very beautiful. She's very intimidating, but when you actually talk to her, she's not mean, and that's not how it is in real life.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I try in the seminars to be as mean as a girl that they might have to approach, but yeah, it's not me when they get to know me. I think that eases it for them. It's like a easy, starting point for them.
They don't quite get an ego shellacking.
No, they don't. It's not like they're going to walk out of here all hunched over and depressed that they can't pick up. I wouldn't do that to them.
Now, what do you think of like the keynote turn? Like a lot of guys, especially Asian guys, the concept of touching a woman right from the very beginning is alien. There's something actually wrong with keynote or in normal parlance, just touching a girl. What do you think of that?
I've seen it over and over again throughout the course of the seminars. At first, they are very timid when it comes to touching in my shoulder. They'll hesitantly touch. They'll like pat. They'll poke. But when they get it right, they have to get it right because they have to know that when they're in a club environment or when they're in an environment with a lot of people, they have to successfully be able to get a girl's attention and turn her towards them, so that's all they see is them. So it's a really good technique. It helps.
Okay. What is your advice for those guys that want a day game? How would you like to be approached during the day?
It's very important for guys not to come across as creepy when they're approaching in the day. I would suggest for them not to approach from the back, but more from like the side, from my peripherals. And maybe a direct approach would be good.
Well, we know it works on you.
Yeah. So it's kind of like there's no need to be as loud or as assertive. that like at night you have to kind of be like that because you're competing against a lot of people. In night situations you're usually at a club. In the daytime it's like it's you and this girl. So it's a whole different approach.
Okay. What do you think is more effective? What do you prefer? The direct style or the indirect style?
It totally depends on the situation. Sometimes it just seems like not sincere if you're direct. But for me, I preferably like the direct approach. It just cuts through the bullshit and it tells you what this person's motive is straight from the beginning. So I like it. I prefer it.
Okay.
And that's one thing I like about the ABC's program is that it's a holistic method and it just teaches the guys to be well-rounded and have a really, like, yeah, well-rounded approach.
Okay. What do you think of the ABC's instructors as a whole or individually?
As a whole, okay, well, individually, they're all really unique and have different styles. I love Oz's approaches. They're really hilarious. And when he's teaching, I mean, they get to the point and people seem to relate with him and he's fun to watch.
What about Johnny Wolf?
Johnny Wolf, God, he's so bulbous and he's in your face. But you know what? He's like a teddy bear. Like something about his approaches, they just seem really sweet and like he only has eyes for you. Like I said, everyone has their own little individual style of approaching every coach, so it's interesting to watch them.
How about me?
Oh God. Okay. You have. I don't know. I don't know. It's almost intimidating. That's all I can say. Like, probably the most experienced of all the coaches from what I witness. Just have it down like an art form. All the different approaches, they just seem very natural. Again, like you only have eyes for whoever you're approaching. Like that, they're the first person and the only person that you've approached. So.
What advice do you have for guys that are getting into pickup, just starting to get into pickup? What advice do you have for them to pursue and to get better with women?
Just to keep. My advice for guys that are just getting into pickup is to keep at it and keep picking up and keep trying new methods and new approaches and until you get it down and you find one that you're comfortable with and not to be afraid of rejection because it comes with the game.
What advice do you have for guys who are interested in taking the boot camp or purchasing the ABC's boot camp DVD kit?
My advice for them is, listen up because you're going to learn a lot. And if you buy the DVDs, keep watching them. Watch them right before you go out to a club. Keep everything fresh in your mind. And, just get a notebook and write down some notes while you're watching it. So there's some useful things.
Now, do you think guys that are learning pickup, do you think they should tell their friends or their girlfriends? And if so, how should they tell them?
I don't think they should tell their girlfriends. I don't think they should tell anyone they're dating because it's going to take away from, like, if they approach their girlfriends with the methods from pickup, the girlfriend's going to feel like, that wasn't sincere, that was like a script. He's probably done that 1,000 times before me. Maybe their boyfriends who are really timid and have trouble picking up, I think that it would be, a nice favor to them to tell them, let them in on it and say, okay, there's this great seminar and it helps you a lot.